This zip has recently broke, again a coiled zip, and I'm going to take this out and put in a toothed zip. I'm going to note the size of them stitching because I'm going to try and replicate that, and pen in along this line here, and the same for this stitch on the other side of the zip, and then I can follow the same stitch holes. I want to remove the old stitches, and that can be done with a pair of nail scissors. If you've got a steady hand, you could use razor blades, and somewhere in here something like this, which is a seam ripper. So I'm literally going to pick out the original stitching, and I know when I pull the zip out we can follow the existing stitch line because I've inked it in pen. The problem with this zip, the coil is actually spread apart there and the slider has come off. I have a couple of replacements. This is off an MTP Bergen. I think they both are. No, that is off a DPM. So this here I think would suit this colour a lot better. I literally bring the seam ripper under the existing stitch and push, and the centre of that is like a razor blade, so I can force it apart to reveal a stitch. The new zip needs to be sandwiched between this liner here and the existing top lid. So this is a zip I've taken off the Bergen. It has the grosgrain grain already attached to the fabric. Hopefully you'll have bought yourself a zip and this won't need doing. I just like collecting all the salvage, waste not, want not. Another 5-minute job and I've got myself a zip for free. Okay, I've cleaned that zip up. And as you can see, there is some excess zip that's not going to be used because we're going to trim it about here. So I'm going to need to sandwich the zip and the liner thusly. But I have a polyester pack, similar polyester thread. Put a tacking stitch here. Always start from the inside of your project. Through the liner, 50% through the zip, and see how it's come out the halfway point where the existing stitches are. I have a stitch hole here to follow and bring it out. Same reverse, and then just tie these off in an overhand knot. From middle to left. I'm going to follow it at 3mm. So with a back stitch, I form a new stitch on the inside. That is a new stitch, that's 3mm. Come out hopefully on that line that I've penned, which I have. And it's called the back stitch because I have to reverse it now to the last stitch I made and pull through. So form a new stitch going from middle to left, and it's called the back stitch because I have to come to the last stitch I just made, which means going backwards. Make sure it comes out at the right place. That's pretty good. And the new stitch is being formed from the inside, and I reverse it from the outside. Quickly show that again. The new stitch is being formed. It comes out hopefully somewhere on that ink line, and then I have to reverse back to the existing stitch I've just done and come forward from the inside. Back stitch. Very strong, very neat. Make sure I'm close to that ink line. Backwards. And then form a new stitch from the inside. I can see where I've got to go. I'm trying to get 50% here. Now it may seem obvious, but until I point it out you won't see. Make sure that this zip is the right way around. You can actually start a project and not notice too late. You'll find that the zip pull is on the inside. So that is the top part of the zip put in with the liner here. I've put a tacking stitch in here so I can start from the middle, and the reason I start from the middle to the edge is if I make a mistake and I don't spot it till I'm nearly finished, I've got to unpick the whole lot. So if I make a mistake early in the project, I just don't have so much to re-sew. Always work from the inside, because that is what will make the project neat. And just find the right tension to make our first stitch. Let's tie this off. Like I said, once the first one or two are in, the rest just follow suit. I really can follow the old stitch pattern, so I know I've got a good measurement. And I've actually quadrupled the actual thread here by using a different type of needle to make sure I'm coming right through. There's the last stitch I made. There's the new one next to it. You can see the spacing is pretty small. It really is worth taking your time and getting them stitches a little smaller. The temptation, I think, for most novice would be to make the stitches bigger. It'll get the job done quicker. If that's your way of thinking, you're in the wrong mindset. You really need to slow your game down. I'm hardly moving the needle forward even 2 or 3 mil. Now when I trim the ends of the zip to fit the pack, I don't want the zip sliding off the end of the teeth. So I'm going to melt the teeth by heating up a pair of pliers here. And just crimp the ends up. There you go. It's not bad for freehand. Okay, that is strong enough to get my tarp in there, because I do loose fill kit into pockets. Can't be bothered with stuff sacks. That is the stuff sack there for my tarp.